Hey y'all, I'm back today with a deck profile on my 5th Omni deck. The deck recently got an update with the Chaos, and not the Chaos, but the Mutation and Evolution set. Everyone was hoping that the cards would come in the trial deck form like we got with the Buddy World, or the Golden Buddy Championship box, but sadly we had to get it in the set. Bushi, please give us these sets. Give us these trial decks, don't give us sets. We'd rather buy trial decks and all these wonderful products that Japan has. Alright, getting onto the deck profile, my buddy is the original 5th Omni Dragon Lord Drum. He is a 6/3/5 size 2 monster Omni Lord, meaning he can be played as a 1-of in any deck or 4-of in Dragon World. He has the call cost of 1 gauge and put the top card of your deck into his soul, and then when you are at 6 life or less, whenever you take a damage, destroy a card on your opponent's field, or a monster on your opponent's field. And then he has Soul Guard, so if he would die, the Soul Guard would keep him off field. Alright, on to my size 1s, just to get them out of the way. I run 2 copies of 5th Omni Cavalry Dragon Disciple Explosion Hammer. This is Factor. It's a weird name. It's a really long name, but it's really cool. It's a 3/3/1. It's got the ability that it cannot be called to center like most 5th Omnis. And then act, you may take a damage if you do choose a 5th Omni card on field, so you can choose your weapons, and that card gains +1 crit.
So you can imagine if that was counter speed?
Oh, if that was counter speed, that would be beautiful. But I think this is more fair that it's not counter speed. I run at a 2-of. The deck goes through itself pretty fast, so you will run into a lot of the cards you play, even if you only play 1 or 2-ofs, I've noticed. The next card I run 2-of is 5th Omni Armored Dragon Flame Summon Rando. He's an older card from the 800 series. He's a 4/2/1. His call cost is 1 gauge. When he enters field, you can choose a 5th Omni monster from your drop zone and return it to your hand. Then you take 1 damage. A lot of the cards in this deck deal you a damage, and the whole point is to synergize with your key cards, your drums, your weapons. The next card I play is a 3-of. It is the new card. It is 5th Omni Cavalry Dragon Disciple Mugen of the Sand Cane. It is a 2/2/3. It's got the ability that it cannot be called to center, and then whenever you take a damage once per turn, gain a gauge and gain a life. So it'll help mitigate that life that you usually have to pay whenever you take a damage, and it'll also gain you a gauge. But if you have the awesome sword equipped, instead of you'll mitigate the damage you take from that, and then you'll gain another life from this and gain a gauge. Onto my size 2s. One of the key cards for the deck right now is 5th Omni Cavalry Dragon Merrick SD. He has been a key card since he came out in the Triple D set. He is a 5/2/1 size 2 that becomes a size 0 if you have a size 2 or greater monster on your field. He has the ability to at counter speed, you may choose a card on your field, gains 1/1 and penetrate, and you take a damage from it.
Now, you're the only person I've seen run 3-of. Any reasoning behind not having to place it?
I've been trying to place it, but I see him too often. Sometimes I'll see just 2 of him and no other monsters, and at that point, honestly, he's just not helping the deck. I'd rather run 3 of them and just get him on board when I have a drum out, then give that drum penetrate, have him swing for 3, or the new Kaiser drum that has 3 crit and double attack. So you give him 3 crit, double attack, and penetrate. Speaking of which, I run 1 copy of that new Kaiser drum. He is a 10/3/5 call cost, pay 2 gauge and put him on top of a drum. And then he has steadfast bonds like the original Kaiser, meaning when your life will go down 0, you may remove a soul and your life goes back up to 1. He also has the other added ability of whenever you take a damage, choose a 5th Omni, or not 5th Omni, choose an Omni Lord from your drop zone, put it on the bottom of your deck, and then choose a card on your opponent's field and destroy it. So you can destroy weapons or monsters. And next, this is only staying in deck for a little while until I can get another copy of that Kaiser drum. It is the promo Kaiser drum. He is a 10/3/5, just like the other Kaiser drum. He has penetrate, soul guard, the same call cost. The other ability that he has that the other Kaiser drum doesn't have is when you enter battle, you can destroy a monster on your opponent's field. So it's whenever you enter battle, you can destroy a monster, or just a monster. Oh no, it's when this card attacks, you may destroy a monster on your opponent's field. So it's not when you enter battle, when he attacks. So if he gets popped, he basically just don't have a card on field. sad. Next, onto my drums in the deck. I run 3 copies of the new drum that came out. He's a 625. He has the Omni alert ability, can't be called to the center, call cost is the same as the Buddy drum. And he has the added ability of when you take damage, you can either gain double attack, or if you're at 6 life or less, you may destroy a size 2 or less monster. I like that he can gain double attack. I don't like that he can't destroy monsters that are size 3, because a lot of the decks right now play a lot of size 3s. And that's why I played 4 of my Buddy instead. Even though he doesn't have double attack, he still swings for 3 crit, and he can gain penetrate pretty easy. And if you have the Hammer Disciple on field, you can make him a 4 crit if your opponent's playing open center just like you are. So that 4 crit is just super pressure. Next, onto my size 3, I play 1 of Inverse Tembu. I like him because in a mirror match or in a match against a deck that plays a lot of cards that can gain that has soul in their field, you can call him, move soul and pop the card, or you can move soul from the item and pop that item. A lot of people are going to be playing the new Kaiser deck coming up, and Dark Kai's is pretty stupid, being able to remove soul and restand. So being able to remove his soul and then pop him on my turn before they can go into the King Kai's is pretty great. And my other one of is the new Tembu. He is a 636, call cost 2 gauge, just like all the other Tembus. He has the ability of destroying cards on your opponent's field equal up to 15,000 power. So you can destroy item and 2 monsters inside, 1 big monster and 1 item, or 1 big monster, 1 small monster. It just all has to add up to 15,000. Lastly, as my size 3s, I'm only playing 2 of. He used to be more prominent in the deck, but I really don't feel like I need to get the life gain as badly. He is a 724 size 3. He's the size 3 Alliot. He's got the call cost to pay 2 gauge and put a 5th Omni from your drop zone into his soul. And whenever you take a damage, you gain 2 life, and this card gains penetrate. He's got double attack and soul guard. It's more of a size 2 build compared to the old size 3 builds. Onto my weapons, I'm running 3 of the new weapon. 5th Omni Dragon Fist Shiny Dragon, or Shiny, what is that? Yes, Dragon. Oh, it's a weird name. It is a 3/2. It's got the equip cost to pay 1 gauge and take 1 damage. The damage is really important because it can activate a lot of your abilities. Whenever you take damage that is 3 damage or greater, it is reduced by 1. So it's just like the old sword, except it's got 5th Omni in its name. And the equip cost is not pay a life, but take a damage, unlike the old sword. And it's got the added ability of whenever you take a damage outside of battle damage, put the top card of your deck into your gauge, and this card gains 3k power, so it becomes a 6/2. And next, the key weapon that I think most people want to run into when they're playing this deck because it helps mitigate the damage cost of a lot of your abilities and spells. It is the 5th Omni Dragon Sword Emperor Fang. It is a 3/3. It's got the equip cost to pay 1 gauge, take 1 damage, so all your abilities can activate once you equip it. Whenever you take a damage outside of battle, you gain a life instead. So all your cards that say take a damage gain a life after you took the damage, so you don't have to lose your life playing these cards. You don't want to push yourself too far. Onto my shields, I run staple, only run 3 blue dragon shields. 4 Lord Dragon shields, because I feel like if you're able to maintain your life like you want to, you'll be able to pop your opponent's cards using your shields too. And then 3 green. I've seen people play 12 shields. I feel like this deck has too many good new spells now to play 12 shields.
That's fair.
I feel like the Lord Dragon shield, since it can't be nullified and it can combo off your pieces on your board, is a lot more helpful. Green Dragon shields just bump you that life, and Blue Dragon shields just gain you that gauge when you feel like you need it. Onto one of the old spells from the 100 series, and one of the staple spells, honestly. What is this card? Drago Wisdom, Knowledge of the 5th Omni. Its cast cost is take a damage, so all your abilities activate when you cast it. You can only cast it if you have a 5th Omni on field, so if you have the weapon or any monster on field, you take a damage, gain engage, draw a card. So it helps you just filter your hand when you have bad cards, or if it's just sitting in your hand and you just charge and drew. One of the new cards that is really good actually is Drago Bright 5th Omni Light. It's a new spell. I run at 3. Its cast cost is taking damage, and then you put the top card of your deck into your gauge and return a 5th Omni monster from your drop zone back to your hand. So once they finally cleared your drum or they killed your Tenbu that next turn, and they built their board back up, you can just bring that card back and just wipe their board again, or bring drum back and just start making them regret having used up all the resources to kill your monster. Next, and actually last of my spells, is 2 Drago Guts. Drago Guts is really great because it can actually save you during final phase against certain decks like bats. Say they just attacked you, push you down to 5 life, they got a final phase. They cast an impact, you can counter, cast this, take a damage, gain 3 life. So you're at 5, you get down to 4, go back to 7, or if you have the sword equipped, you go stay at 5 and go up to 8. You still take that 5 damage from the impact because it's still happening, but you survive that turn, and they just use up everything just to try to finish you off that with their final phase. And you can go into your turn and then go into your final phase with Dragon Lord Ignition, Giga Howling Crusher. The impact from the secret pack, it got reprinted in the Mutation set. I really like this artwork. Actually, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool looking, even though it's just a double rare, not secret like the other one. Its cast cost is 3 gauge. You can only cast this if you have a drum on field or your buddy. You deal damage equal to the critical of your weapon and your buddy or drum on field. Since drum either has 2 to 3 crit, if not 4, with the new size 1, and your weapon has 2 to 3 crit, you're usually dealing 4 to 7 damage with this impact. And this impact cannot be reduced, so they're just going to have to take that damage right away. The only other cards I would suggest getting for this deck, of course, being another one of the Kaiser Drums, and possibly another one of the Tembus, and siding out Amphir's Tembu for Kai's matchups. So far, I'm glad Bushi gave support to some of these decks because they seemed like they were completely falling out of the meta, and they were not going to be able to keep up in any way. With this new support, I feel like these decks could be pretty good as rogue decks, if not meta decks. This has been my deck profile. I'd love to get your all's feedback, and like, comment, subscribe, please. Alright, y'all have a great night.